Now, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrutyam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udiret Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama-śloke Bhakti Bhavati Nishti. हरे कृष्ण प्रणाम। आज हम कैंटो फर्स्ट चैप्टर फर्स्ट क्वेश्चंस बाय द सेजेस श्लोका नंबर 4 रीड कर रहे हैं। सॉरी, वी आर टुडे नाउ चैप्टर फर्स्ट कैंटो फर्स्ट चैप्टर क्वेश्चन बाय द सेजेस श्लोका नंबर 4 वी विल ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड बाय रीडिंग। नैमिषे अनिमिष क्षेत्रे ऋषयः शौनक आदयः सत्रं स्वर्गाय लोकाय सहस्रसमम् आसत्। प्लीज यू रीड आफ्टर मी। नैमिषे अनिमिष क्षेत्रे ऋषयः शौनक आदयः सत्रं स्वर्गाय लोकाय सहस्र समम् आसत। नैमिषे अनिमिष क्षेत्रे ऋषयः शौनक आदयः तत्रं स्वर्गाय लोकाय
सहस्रसमम् आसत्।
नैमिषे अनिमिष क्षेत्रे ऋषयः शौनक आदयः तत्रं स्वर्गाय लोकाय सहस्रसमम् आसत्। Anyone who read full shloka at a time?
नैमिषे अनिमिष क्षेत्रे ऋषयः शौनक आदयः सत्रं स्वर्गाय लोकाय सहस्रसमम् आसत्।
नैमिषे अनिमिष क्षेत्रे ऋषयः शौनकादयः सत्रं स्वर्गाय लोकाय सहस्रसमम् आसत्।
Very nice.
क्षेत्रे ऋषयः शौनकादयः सत्रं स्वर्गाय लोकाय सहस्रसमम् आसतः।
Very nice. आशीष प्रभु जी।
नैमिषे अनिमिष क्षेत्रे ऋषयः शौनकादयः सत्रं स्वर्गाय लोकाय सहस्रसमम् आसत्।
पूनम माता जी। Word to word meaning. Naimishe, in the forest known as Naimisharanya. Animisha Kshetre, the spot which is especially a favorite of Vishnu, who does not close his eyelids. Rushaya, sages. Shaunaka Adaya, headed by the sage Shaunaka. Satram, sacrifice. Swargaya, the Lord who is glorified in heaven. Lokaya, and for the devotees who are always in touch with the Lord. Sahasra, 1000. Samam, years. Asata, perform. Translation and purport by the Srila Prabhupada. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Once in a holy place in the forest of Naimisharanya, great sages headed by the sage Shaunaka assembled to perform a great 1,000-year sacrifice for the satisfaction of the Lord and his devotees. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Ena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Ena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guroho Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Guron Vaishnavancha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lita Sri Vishakhanvitancha Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschata Deshatarine Vancha Kalpatarubhecha Kripa Sindhubhe Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare. Purport by the Srila Prabhupada. The prelude of the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam was spoken in the previous 3 shlokas. So we must understand all these 3 shlokas nicely, and when we understand, then we go ahead, and this is helpful for your ahead Bhakti Vaibhav also. Please
Hare Krishna, Dandavatana. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The prelude of the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam was spoken in the Hare Krishna, am I audible?
Yes.
The prelude of the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam was spoken in the previous 3 shlokas. Now the main topic of this great literature is being presented. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, after its first recitation by Srila Sukadeva Goswami, was repeated for the second time at Naimisharanya. In the Māyāvāda Tantra, it is said that Brahma, the engineer of this particular universe, contemplated a great wheel which could enclose the universe. The hub of this great circle was fixed at a particular place known as Naimisharanya. Similarly, there is another reference to the forest of Naimisharanya in the Varaha Purana, where it is stated that by performance of sacrifice at this place, the strength of the demoniac people is curtailed. Thus, Brahmanas prefer Naimisharanya for such sacrificial performances. The devotees of Lord Vishnu offer all kinds of sacrifices for his pleasure. The devotees are always attached to the service of the Lord, whereas fallen souls are attached to the pleasures of the material existence. In Bhagavad-gītā, it is stated that anything performed in the material world for any reason other than for the pleasure of the Lord Vishnu causes further bondage for the performer. It is enjoined, therefore, that all acts must be performed sacrificially for the satisfaction of Vishnu and his devotees. This will bring everyone peace and prosperity. The great sages are always anxious to do good to the people in general, and as such the sages, headed by Shaunaka and others, assembled at this holy place of Naimisharanya with a program of performing a great and continuous chain of sacrificial ceremonies. Forgetful men do not know the right path for the peace and prosperity. However, the sages know it well, and therefore, for the good of all men, they are always anxious to perform acts which may bring about peace in the world. They are sincere friends to all the living entities, and at the risk of great personal inconvenience, they are always engaged in the service of the Lord for the good of the people. Lord Vishnu is just like a great tree, and all other, including the demigods, men, siddhas, charanas, vidyadharas, and other living entities, are like branches, twigs, and leaves of the tree. By pouring water on the root of the tree, all parts of the tree are automatically nourished. Only those branches and the leaves which are detached cannot be so satisfied. Detached branches and leaves dry up gradually despite all watering attempts. Similarly, human society, when it is detached from the personality of Godhead, like detached branches and leaves, is not capable of being watered, and one attempting to do so is simply wasting his energy and resources. The modern materialistic society is detached from its relation to the Supreme Lord, and all its plans, which are being made by atheistic leaders, are sure to be baffled at every step. Yet they do not wake up to this. In this age, the congregational chanting of the holy names of the Lord is the prescribed method of waking up. The ways and means are most scientifically presented by Lord Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and intelligent persons may take advantage of his teachings in order to bring about real peace and prosperity. Srimad Bhagavatam is also presented for the same purpose, and this will be explained more specifically later in the purport. Thus ends the
The next step.
Bhaktivedanta purport by Srila Prabhupada.
And the next step. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Ram. Hare Ram. Ram Ram. Hare Hare. Here in this.
Yes,
Yes.
Mataji, would you like to summarize, please?
No, you
Please,
take.
Mataji, you please say a few words. Then I'll
No,
add up
please.
important points from other lecture. Hare Krishna.
Please.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So sorry, apologies for busting in, I'll say. But this is what Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is. It makes you feel that you need to read more. It's like there used to be ad, ye dil mange more. And this is what actually happens to people who have actually studied Shloka 1, 2, and 3 properly. Because it is clearly mentioned there that if you want to actually have the liberation, if you want to go transcendentally to the spiritual realm, then Srimad Bhagavatam is the only solution which can help us go there. Because by studying this with full faith, with full confidence, we can move forward. So here, this shloka is very simple, that all the great sages which were headed by Shaunaka Muni that assembled in forest of Naimisharanya, there they will doing a 1,000-year sacrifice, that is yajna, and yajna is always done for the satisfaction of Krishna and his devotees. So this is what is there. And in the purport also, Prabhupada ji is talking about that Brahma is the engineer of this particular universe. So, and that is what is mentioned in Vayavya Tantra. So there he is saying that this whole wheel, it has a center where it is fixed, and that particular place where this is fixed is Naimisharanya. So even Varapura recommends about Naimisharanya. So generally people prefer to visit Naimisharanya. And Naimisharanya is not something that it was there 5,000 years ago and it is not there now. It is still there. It is around 100 miles from Lucknow. The nearest railway station is Nimsar. So people do visit there. And those who are attached to service of Lord, they like to be there. Because this is what is important. And doing sacrifices is also something which is recommended. And all people who are good, who are sages, they are always anxious to do good for the people in general. And so it was said that everyone had gathered in that Naimisharanya to do the sacrifice. I mean, Prabhupada ji was speaking about this like shloka is started off with mentioning about the importance of Bhagavatam, that it is not something which has come recently, like people allege. Many a times people say that it was something as a story which has come up now. But then if it was new, then there would not have been references in the old Puranas. And Bhagavatam itself is 5,000 years old. And Krishna, in fact, in Bhagavad-gītā says that around 40 million years ago, he spoke Bhagavad-gītā to Sun God. So where is the history? So modern history cannot stand it. It cannot give chronological table more than 3,000 years. And so they want to prove that no, Bhagavatam is recent. But the fact is, Vedic culture is very old. It is not concocted. It is eternal. And therefore it is called as Sanatanaha. Sanatan means something which is eternal. It has no beginning and no end. So even if people say that will destroy Sanatana, that is not possible. So after making this clarification, Prabhupada makes one more clarification, that our relationship with Krishna. So he says that just like this Bhagavatam is eternal, Vedic culture is eternal, similarly our relationship and exchange of loving service with Krishna is also eternal. Krishna is eternal, we are eternal, our dealings with Krishna is eternal. So everything is eternal. But sometimes this gets interrupted by Maya. And that is what is called as Swapna. Swapna means dream-like. So just like in a dream, there is no fact, it is all hallucination, illusion. Similarly, our detachment from Krishna is also a hallucination. Now it may happen that you have a dream, and in the dream, you are seeing a tiger who has come near and is just about to attack you. Or a COVID virus, which is very actually micro, small, suddenly becomes very large, and is about to attack you. And you are afraid, you are perspiring. You are thinking, oh, now everything is going to end. And you start shouting, save, save, save. And then someone is pushing you. Kya hua? What happened? What happened? Wake up, wake up. And then you wake up and find, oh, that was a dream. That's not reality. Similar is our situation. We are in hallucination that we are a part of this material world. Well, actually, we are transcendental, we are spiritual, we are eternal, we are the soul and not the body. And our relationship is with Krishna, not with this body. So there needs to be someone who is pushing and waking us up. That is very important. And that is why Prabhupada ji quotes from Chaitanya Charitamrita, wherein Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is asking everyone, wake up from the dream. So there is a shloka, Jiva jago, Gaura Chanda bole, Kota nidra jao maya, Pishachir kole, Bhajibo bolia es संसार भीतरे, भूलिया रोहिले तुम्ही अविद्यार भाई. So Narottam Das Thakur ji has written this bhajan. He says, why are you sleeping on the lap of this Maya, illusory energy? Why are you sleeping? Get up, Jiva Jago. And this is being ordered by Gaur Chandra, that is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he's reminding us that when we were in the womb of the mother, at that time we promised, Vajivo Buliya Eshe Sansara Bhitare, that by coming out of my mother's womb, I shall become a devotee. But as soon as you come out, you forget. And this is going on completely, continuously, repeatedly. And that is the result of our repeated cycles of birth, old age, disease, and death. Scientifically speaking, we all know how ample the space is, the mother's womb, and how there's so much of what I say, worms which like our skin, and there's all kinds of body waste excreta in the intestines of the mother, and we are there in that cramped space. So it is said that once you are dying, you take up a new body by being impregnated into a womb of a mother, and you are there lying still. If you are in the human birth, you are lying still for up to 7 months, and then the consciousness develops. And then you see all these things, and you're cramped for space. And because your consciousness develops, you start praying to God. Oh Lord, please, final, one more time. Please get me out. I'll not forget you now. But then, as Narottam Das Thakur says, we come out, we forget, and we get again bonded in the material world. And that is why Chaitanya Mahaprabhuji is saying, he's doing the pushing, he's telling us, Enichi Aushida Maya Nashibaro Lagi. See, it is my luck I have brought this. So you please accept this. And that is why we have to understand that this Bhagavatam is very, very important for us. And we need to accept it seriously. So here we see that we are talking about Nimisha Kshetre. So Animisha Kshetre, that is the spot which is favorite of Vishnu, who does not close his eyelids. Now, there's a wonderful story which almost all of you would be knowing. Generally, we have got these eyelids out here and they are closing few minutes, few times per minute. But Krishna, he never closes, and therefore he is Animisha. And so, when they came to know, the gopis started condemning Brahma. That why have you given us these nonsense eyelids? See, eyelids are nonsense for gopis, and for us, we want to keep them closed always. Nidra. Ah, so good. I want to keep on sleeping. But then the gopis are saying, no, Brahma, you are useless. You don't know anything. You have awarded just these nonsense eyelids. It sometimes closes the eye and we cannot see Krishna. So you don't know how to prepare bodies. We don't know what you were thinking when you created this. This is Gopi's desire. We want to see Krishna always without being disturbed by the eyelids. And that is why Krishna, he always wants to see his creation. He always wants us to be with him. So he has never closed his eyelids. That is why it's called Animish. And the place which is favorite for Krishna is Animish Kshetra. Now here we see that here all the sages have gathered and they have done a yajna which is 1,000-year yajna. Now generally what we know is people stay for say 60, 70, 80 years, 100 years, and then it is a Guinness Book of Records. So how is it possible that someone was doing yajna for 1,000 years? It is possible because in Satyuga, general lifespan used to be 100,000 years, that is 1 lakh years. In Treta Yuga, the lifespan used to be 10,000 years. And in Dwapar Yuga, the lifespan used to be 1,000 years. And now in Kali Yuga, it is 100 years. But again, we know that it is not complete. Because in Kali Yuga, it is said, Prayana Alpayusha Kalau Asmin Yuge Janaha. And this Kali Yuga, the duration of life, the span of life will be gradually reduced. Memory will be reduced, strength will be reduced, mercifulness will be reduced. Everything will be reduced. But there in Dwapar Yuga, it was possible. And that is why that yajna was being done by the sages for 1,000 years in Naimisharanya. But in Kali Yuga, we are losing everything. In fact, everyone has developed, Prabhupada ji saying, the frog philosophy. They feel that whatever they are informed about, that is great. Anyone else may be not possible. So just like a frog is in a well or a pond, maybe around say 3 feet, if someone comes and tells, no, I'm coming from Indian Ocean, it is bigger. So the frog may think, oh, big, maybe 5 feet. He says, no, more big than that. Oh, 6 feet. No, more big, 7, 8, 10. No, more big. Now he cannot calculate millions of feet of the Indian Ocean. So similarly, generally what happens is the modern age man, he feels that, oh, God is that, maybe okay, he's just like me, maybe a little more powerful than me, maybe more powerful than me. They will not be ready to accept that God is all powerful. all pervading. So it is mentioned in Brahma Samhita. Yasya kanivashita kalam athavalambya jivanti loma vilaja jagadandanathah. It is said that all universes come out of the breathing period of Mahavishnu, and that Mahavishnu is partial representation of Krishna. But they say, no, 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 it is story. But then, that is not a story, it is a fact. But we don't accept it, we keep ourselves limited to the body. And that also becomes a problem. And those who keep themselves located, if Krishna leaves you, then nothing can save you. As was prayed by Prahlad Maharaj, Balasya neha sharanam pitrandrasiyanartasya cha agadandamuldavanti majjatano taptasya tatpratividharya yajajastashtha tavad vibho tanubhrutam tvad upekshitanam. My dear Lord Nasyadev, because of bodily conception of life, embodied souls neglected and not cared for you cannot do anything for their betterment. Whatever remedies they accept, although perhaps temporarily beneficial, are certainly impermanent. For example, a father and mother cannot protect their child, a physician and medicine cannot relieve a suffering patient, and a boat on the ocean cannot protect a drowning man. So, if you are neglected by Krishna, no counteraction can save us. If one is neglected by God, he cannot be saved. That is not possible at all. And hence, it is important that whatever we do for God. And yajna is something which is recommended, and that is why the sages were doing yajna. Krishna says in Bhagavad-gītā, yajna artha karmano anyatra loko yam karma bandhana tadartham karma kaunteya mukta sangha samachara. Work done as a sacrifice for Vishnu has to be performed. Otherwise, work causes bondage in this material world. Therefore, O son of Kunti, perform your prescribed duties for satisfaction, and that way you'll always remain from bondage. So Krishna is canvassing actually this. Yat karoshi, yat ashnasi, yat josi dadasi, yat tapasyasya kaunteya, tat kurushva madarpana. Doing all kinds of yajna. He wants us to do the yajna. But then he wants it to be done only for himself. Like food, it has to be given for Krishna, not for our own benefit. But we are afraid because we think that if we give food, then Krishna will make us a devotee. And we want to eat everything nonsense. But Krishna has clearly said, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam Yome Bhaktya Prayachati. So he knows what is to be eaten, and it has clearly mentioned. And he eats. Maybe we do not know how he is eating, but then Brahma Samhita has explained how he eats. Because he is omnipotent, any part of his body has the potency of all parts of the body. Angani yasya sakalendriya vrittimanti pashyanti panti kalayanti chiram jaganti. So that is Krishna. That is why yajna and yajna for satisfaction of Krishna is something which we should also start doing. Hare Krishna. Kindly repeat after me. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasati Gaur Bhaktavinda. Please take beats and chant along with Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.